welcome everyone to the Automation Jet Age Design Competition Judging. Nearly 130 entrants from all of our community hubs submitted their best 1950 to 1980 concept car designs, and in this video we will figure out which one is the best. The first part of this video is a montage of all of the non-finalist entries, as determined by a community vote, shown in order of their overall score, including the best, or most presentable, comments from the voting process. The second part of the video is a replay of the livestream judging we hosted on our Discord server, with Marcus to MV Design and Sacrane joining our community manager, Mr. Chips, as judges, to determine the overall winner from the remaining finalists. We would like to extend our thanks to all of our entrants, everyone who participated in the community vote, as well as our judges for making this event possible. Now, without further ado, let's get into it. And now, on to the finalists.
Very Aston Martin Bulldog type headlights. Not that that's a bad thing.
It's definitely a choice.
It is definitely a choice. It seems to have a lot of hidden detail,
Mm-hmm.
like the fans in there, or radiators, or whatever they're supposed to be, I suppose.
Nice USB tools in the rear.
Yeah. That is a long dashboard.
It
I
is.
like it though.
Big long steering column.
I think it's a bit plain.
Yeah.
Yeah, like it's you first. It chips.
It is a little bit on the plain side, I think. You know, especially from this front view, it would have been nice to have something going on around the sort of over the wheel arches, because it seems like everything's like kind of concentrated in the middle. And then, of course, you got the great big wide. I think that's a light bar down low and sort of a chrome bumper strip.
Yeah, I was gonna say the same thing. The fenders are just empty.
Yeah.
Like it's a cool design. Like I like it, but like over the entire fender, there's just nothing. Same thing kind of behind the cockpit. It's just a big flat nothing.
Yeah.
It is cool though. Like again, it is a nice design.
It looks like a toy. It doesn't look like a car. It looks like a toy.
It kind of looks like a supercar you'd see in a cartoon from like the early 70s. Something out of Speed Racer almost.
Yeah, that's a good point. It's very sort of exaggerated in some ways and very simplified in others. I think for my score for this one, I will give it, I don't know, probably about a 6.5, I think.
Yeah, I was thinking 6.
Go for 4. Really didn't like it that much. There were cooler stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh.
So the next one is from Bang.
Also red stripes, but he did the red stripes himself. It's not from the body. And this body has the red stripes.
Yeah. Bang's Revuelto Aegis concept.
That wing is sick.
It is pretty awesome. One thing I just noticed right now, and I kind of can't take my eyes off it, is look how tiny the windshield wipers are.
Oh yeah, they are. That is near useless, huh?
Yeah. Definitely not.
I really like the.
Definitely not a car to drive in the rain. That's for sure.
No, definitely not. I really like the vent in between the headlights. That looks really cool.
This concept, I wish someone would try to make a new form of wiping. Because there are some concepts of that, but I never see doing out of.
It is really cool though, like, especially that I can't take my eyes off that wing personally. It looks like, it looks like a spaceship.
Yeah.
Hello.
Yes,
Better.
yeah. Much better.
Yep, it's better.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm liking that. I actually just like sort of this upper elevated profile. That's got a really nice look with especially with the vents coming off the headlights. It would have been nice if those were a little bit better, sort of sized and centered, I guess. But it's a great idea overall, I think.
Yeah, it really is. This, like the last one was a Speed Racer type thing. This looks like somebody just walked out of the theater in 1977 having seen Star Wars and just thinking, wow, I gotta do something like that.
Yep.
Well, on that note though, what's going on with those indicators? Is that intentional?
That's a good question. I hope that's, well, I hope and also simultaneously not hope that it's some sort of an issue with the lighting and materials and whatnot, but that's probably what's going on there.
That's from the body. He tried to put the indicators too much to the corners and they wrapped around it that way. But it looks cool. I don't know if he left it intentionally. It looks cool, but it's a problem with the body.
Yeah, it's not too bad. I mean, if it is unintentional, it's kind of a happy accident. It doesn't look too bad.
Yeah, agreed. I mean, I've seen far worse. So I might, and if it is something that's more of an issue with how automation's rendering those lights, I can't really fault him for that. So.
Oh, we've got a Bang in the chat actually.
Yes. Hello, Bang.
Kind of reminds me of the Pagani montage, the concept he made before leaving Lamborghini.
Oh yeah, the evolution, yeah.
Yeah, that and
bit,
I think
actually.
I think also the wheels really make me think BMW M1 as well.
Very much.
Yeah,
I think it's a 6 for me.
I think I'll give it a 6.5 as well again for that one. You know, it's got some
Yeah, I'm
really
gonna
good
give it
ideas, but it's just a little awkward in places.
Yeah, I'll join you on that 6.5. Very, very cool. Wing is great, but yeah, just a little. Could have been lifted up a little higher.
For sure. It's got a great name too.
Like a little bit to the rear. It's kind of too much over the car.
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah.
Also, Chips, since we've got people asking a little bit, the definition of the jet age, what is your thought?
So what we did is sort of a combination of jet age and space age concept. And the idea was we wanted concepts between 1950 and 1980 or thereabouts. I essentially wanted to encompass 2 eras. So I wanted the era of sort of like the true jet age, you know, of the 1950s where it was all, you know, chrome and plastic domes and wings and stuff, but also sort of the wedgy Italian concepts of sort of the mid to late 1960s and then through the 1970s as well. So essentially a 30-year window is what I was looking for.
Yeah, and
So for
as they said, Revuelto is the name of the newest Lamborghini.
Mm-hmm.
It is, but the newest Lamborghini didn't exist once thing was new, so you'll get away with that one.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay, we got one more car coming up here in a moment.
I'll give him 6.5 because I like the red stripe in the rear.
Yeah.
That's a triple 6.5. Very nice.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Good interior.
It's an okay interior. You know, there's maybe a few more details I would have liked to have seen if you're going to really go for it, but I mean, it gets the point across for sure.
This is one of those things where, like, it could have a little more stuff, but that is a nice photo. That's a really good photo.
It's very well composed. Very well done on that. Okay, here's our next entry from...
Whoa, it's the Delta Wing.
Blocko.
Holy fuck. Ow, of course it's from Blocko. Of course Blocko made the Delta Wing.
You've gotten to that point, Blocko, where you take photos and you just immediately see the photo and think, oh, that's Blocko.
Yep.
Yep.
Now this is a bit of an interesting one, and it's one that I've kind of struggled with myself. Because it's an absolutely excellent design. But...
it doesn't fit the theme.
Not hugely, no.
It is great. It is amazing, but it doesn't fit the theme.
Yep.
Fuck, I wish I could give it a 10, but I can't.
Yeah. Like, just from a pure design perspective, it's absolutely a 10 out of a 10, for sure. But is it even something you would have seen in that combined era? I just can't see it being as such, especially with the way that some of the aerodynamics are done and some of the, especially sort of the cockpit surround too. It feels very modern in a lot of ways.
The rear is full IMSA from the time. The front is too modern.
Yeah. Yeah, I tend to agree with that.
It feels very Ridge Racer-y. That's a compliment for the most part, though. But yeah, it's kind of... It feels retro modern in that it's from a modern perspective, and it kind of goes the wrong way around. Because I absolutely love it, but... you know, it's just the era thing.
Yeah. This basically feels like, what would an Indy car be like if it was in the 2010s but purely jet powered?
If you take away the wing, I'm kind of inclined to agree. Yeah, it's got a very very smooth, just almost modern design. I mean, that rear end reminds me of like this Group C cars from the 90s.
This rear end is a mod from the Lancia Delta Group C. I have this mod. The entire fenders are from the mod.
Oh yeah.
No, it's not. Oh,
Oh, it's oh no, knowing Blocko, this is a complete 3D design. Am I right, Blocko?
Yeah.
There's no actual like 2D stuff on this car at all. Well, maybe like one thing. Yeah, there you go.
he made the exact fender that there's the mod, but to fit his car.
Yeah, no, it is really good. It's just kind of keeps coming back to like maybe it's a little modern type thing.
Yeah.
It is cool though. Then again, I mean, it's Swedish, which means that I, as a Norwegian, am inclined not to like it. It's just how it is.
I think I would give this a 7
Country
overall.
rivalry.
Because, like, just from a pure design perspective, it's 10 out of 10, unquestionably.
Oh, yeah.
But just because it really doesn't fit with the era, and I kind of struggle with that, I've just got to knock some points off for that, unfortunately. Because, I mean, we did cast a really wide net for this challenge in terms of what would be sort of acceptable and what wasn't, but I just really can't see how this would have really fits anywhere, unfortunately.
I think I'm gonna give it like an 8.5, just because it doesn't quite fit, but man, it's really cool. I keep looking at it. It is. I love the rear wheel steering. I love even just the tiny things like the tire tread. If you see that photo again where it's got the wheel turning, I mean, look at that. That's so cool.
Yeah.
Though on that note, is that arrow pointing the wrong way?
It is. I think that might be an artifact of automation and how it handles the tire textures and stuff.
Yeah, I don't think that's intentional, but oh well.
No.
Still though, the point is it's really cool that the tire texture is thought out as well.
The ad by the side of the tire, dental gymnastics. I wonder what the hell do these guys do?
Yeah. Yeah, that arrow's thrown me off. The arrow's pointing in the wrong direction. 0 out of 10. I'm sorry.
Yep, that's it. Just ban him right now.
Ban him.
Yep, and banned from the community.
Yeah. I'll stick to the 8.5.
I give him a 7.5.
Yeah, I can see all those scores for sure. Okay, on to the next entry here. Let me just grab our community poll. This one is from Broken Down Car.
I was about to say, well, that's not good. Not the car, the fact that it's broken down.
This one is pretty wild, to say the least.
Now that's Jet Age.
Yeah.
Yeah,
yeah.
This is a true American Jet Age style concept car, if there ever was one. It's got quite a name too, as we saw from the poll there. The Krieger Reactron.
Reactron is an excellent name.
Yep. I've got to say, going through the finalists, there are some excellent names in this. I mean, not that we're voting on that, but you guys did absolutely 110% excellent job choosing names for your concept cars. So you're all to be commended for that.
If Harley Earl took LSD.
Yeah.
A bit.
So basically just virtual Exeter then.
As cool as it is, it's pretty messy.
Yeah.
And like I know that a lot of the 50s concept cars were a bit messy, but this is like that whole rear end, it just kind of feels like things are thrown onto it.
Yeah, the top of the rear end has nothing connected. The lines don't connect to anything.
No. I think the thing that really throws me off as well is the shape of the wheel arches. It just doesn't really seem
especially
right.
that's true.
The rear ones, yeah.
The roof is great. The roof is exactly what I was expecting.
Everything
for
from
sure.
Everything sort of the belt line up is quite nice, except for sort of the rear deck stuff, which is a little bit on the busy side.
Yeah.
And below
I wish
belt line,
I wish this side stuck it in like the Mayor's Manx boogie, or the tucking behind the wheels.
Yeah, that would have been nice.
That front end as well.
There's a lot going on.
It's cool, but yeah.
The front end looks AA generated.
A little bit, yeah.
Actually, yeah, a little bit, yeah. I'm almost struggling to like find something to say. It just doesn't look quite right.
Yeah, it's close in so many ways, and it's it's a really ambitious design, but it really...
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, it's like 80% of the way there.
I think what I would do is take those Dagmar bumpers that are above the plate and move them out onto those like turbines that are on the outside. Put them there instead.
Yeah.
I think that would already make it. That'd make it like the Cadillac XP, whatever it was from like '59, the one that looks like a jet plane.
Yeah, exactly. And actually make those Dagmars like the proper size too, instead of way too tiny.
The front grills, the front by the sides of the plate, are too busy. If that design was a little bit simpler and maybe a little chrome bar under them to remove that underbite it has, it would look better. The chrome turbines from the sides could be chrome too. They are a little weird being blue.
Yeah, the body color doesn't go too well with the bumper in between being chrome.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree.
Also, I know it's a very 50s thing, but the bumper also doesn't actually seem to function as a bumper because the turbines stick out further. That was I mean, that did happen, but that was more of a 60s thing.
Yeah.
In the 50s, the bumpers were massive.
Are a little too modern. I think these mirrors are 60s mirrors.
They kind of are. I think they're just a bit too big.
Yeah. Yeah, I think it's more the size than anything. I mean, they're kind of... Yeah, well, I mean, those mirrors are a little bit weird with their era anyways. I mean, they kind of cross over sort of a couple, so it's not really my favorite mirror design, period, but... Yeah. We'll give that one... I'm going to give that one a 6, I think, just because like it's a really ambitious idea, but it tried to be too much, I think.
Yeah, I'm going to go with a 5. It's basically the same reason. It's got some cool ideas. I like the over the thing over the cockpit, so to say. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But other than that, it's a bit busy. I get it, but it's a bit busy.
I'm gonna go with 5.5.
Yeah. I kind of wish this shot was a little bit better taken though.
Yeah, this one's a bit.
The wide
weird.
angle is a little too wide, perhaps.
I wish I could see this dash better. It looks cool, but it's too far away.
Yeah. Okay, I think we're up to our next entry here. We're going alphabetically, by the way, if people haven't realized just yet. We're not going in order of how they finished, so... Next one is from Chill Pollins.
Ooh.
Clyde Venture.
Now that is nice.
It is so nice.
This is what the other car should be. The car fits. Everything flows.
Yeah.
Well, I tell you what, gentlemen, this here's the future.
It has way less stuff, but everything that's there flows.
Yeah, this is just... Oh, especially from this view. I mean, wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The back of the roof is a little too long. I think it could be a little shorter. And the top of the trunk could have some detail. Other than that, perfect.
Yeah. That is... I mean, you can see kind of there's not really too much going on the side. Like, at least on the... around the door, but that's... Oh, perfect. It works so well.
That interior is so
that is nice. I don't know if...
The interior is nice, and the photo is great. The car looks like it's flying.
I don't know if Debonair's in the chat here. He would love this. If he hasn't seen this, he needs to.
Yeah. Yeah, this is really
the
something.
The gear shift is buttons.
Yeah.
The gear shift is buttons of the call. That's amazing. That's really cool.
Yeah, I'm really liking this one a lot. I love the fact that they advertised the power steering and the steering wheel as they always did back in the 50s, you know, when it was actually a special thing to have.
Yeah. They usually do that with power brakes too.
Yes, they do.
The pedal has power brakes.
Everything was power something, and it was always like Otronic.
Oh yeah, it had some sort of super futuristic name.
Yeah.
Yeah, I really.
I know it's a fixture, but I love that steering wheel. It's out of what, like the '58 Plymouth cars. It's such a cool wheel. Look at that. I also like the shout out to the transmission buttons down there.
Yeah, Marcus pointed that out already. That's a really nice touch.
Yeah,
one of those things
probably
really
pretty hard to use, but man, they look so cool.
Yeah.
I think not. I think you put your hand over it and press it with your thumb. It's not
Maybe
that complicated.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe, yeah. It just takes up a lot of space for what could essentially be, a stick.
Yeah, but it's got a
it's still very cool.
Yeah, but cool.
Oh yeah, it is. It is cool. I mean, the rule of cool does trump all.
Absolutely. Well, I think I'm gonna give this one.
Thinking an 8.
I'm gonna give it a 9 for that. I really like that design.
Yeah, I'm gonna join you on that 9. That is lovely. Can I just see the front again before we move on?
Yeah, let's go back to the front. That's just.
Look at that.
Yeah.
Look at those they're almost freestanding headlights.
Mm-hmm.
And it looks so good. Everything flows so well. The only thing that I think I don't quite like is the bumper guards on the outside.
Yeah,
but
those
even
should have been
then,
sort of, if those kind of were more cylindrical rather than just sort of big blocks of chrome in sort of rectangular shapes. That would
Yeah.
Also, this
Perfect.
picture looks straight out of the 50s.
it does.
You nailed the picture.
Yeah. Yeah.
The clouds in the back and like the muted pastel colors, perfect.
The composition is absolutely spot on.
The setting round too.
Yeah.
Lovely car.
Yeah, this is fantastic. This is everything I was hoping I'd see from this challenge. So we're on to our next entry, which is from Chris Vidaire, the Swift XF Universe concept.
Wow,
Another
what a
great
name.
Yeah.
Yeah.
10 out of 10 for the name for sure. This one, I wish it was photographed a little bit better. I'm just going to say that right off the bat. There's way too much.
Yeah.
I've seen this car on Wasteland Weekend. It actually exists.
Yeah.
It is a Cadillac 2.2 sold on the site.
It's a nuclear dashboard.
Yep, I guess we're nuclear powered in this one.
Enjoy your cancer writing.
Yep.
That is, it's very 50s, like overdone type style.
It is.
It might even be a bit too overdone. Those cylinders on the side are huge.
Yep.
Because of the quality of the pictures and how huge some of the elements are, this one also looks like it's an AI photo.
Actually, yeah. The color contrast is way too high.
Yep.
Official Powered Automation win.
Yeah, Fission Power. That's gonna be a little ways off in the dev plan. That's for sure.
A little.
A little bit.
It is really cool. This photo really doesn't do it justice, though.
Yeah.
Like, look at the overhang between the front wheel and the outside. I know it's like both the width and the length, but it's huge. It's like massive. You can barely even see the wheels in this photo.
Yeah, this almost makes it look like a hover car in a way. Which would have been sort of a really sort of retro futuristic 50s concept. You know, we've even done away with the wheels.
True. Could be intentional. I don't doubt it.
Yeah, I think that
those like metal poles sticking out of the fins look lethal.
Yeah. Yeah, that's
I think those are pitot tubes. This guy really wanted to build a hovercraft.
Yeah, he's really going for the jet fighter motif here. For sure.
Yeah.
A little bit of a
I think it's just it's really cool, but I think it's a bit like the photos admittedly aren't the best, but it's just it's almost a bit much. It's a bit difficult to even think that could happen in 50s America, but I feel like those no, sorry, you're all good. Those tubes are just a bit big. There's a bit like, I don't know, it feels like they take over the entire design.
Yeah. I tend to agree. Actually, it's almost like it's almost like it's a caricature of a 1950s concept car, which was already a caricature of a car, anyways.
Yeah.
I think I'm gonna give this one a 6 actually overall.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna give it a 5.5.
5.5 too.
Yeah, it's kind of funny that we're looking at a very obviously 1950s concept and we're saying, yeah, that's even too much for that. Yeah, I just kind of wish the photos weren't quite so blown out with contrast as well, which is really not that hard to do in this photo scene.
It's actually so contrasted that red piece in the middle is turning purple.
Yeah, it's way blown out, unfortunately. Lots of detail shots here. These are...
Yeah, a lot of detail shots too.
I really would not want to be a pedestrian.
Look at the differential under there.
My
goodness. That is a barbecue skewer.
Yeah. You'd be turned into a kebab.
Well, no problem if you run someone over, because you won't run them over, you'll just run into them and then they'll stay there.
Mm-hmm. And the interiors...
Oh, there is an interior photo. That's
the size of that brake pedal. You're gonna stop.
Yeah.
Well, you can think that you're gonna stop anyway.
Yep.
You can push it and hope something happens.
Yeah, that's definitely... Put 2 feet on it and still have room left over on that one. Even the gas pedal, or accelerator pedal, I don't think you could call it a gas pedal in a nuclear-powered car, but... It's
an atom pedal.
It's the fusion pedal.
The Chernobyl
That's
pedal.
Cool. Somebody should patent that. Fusion pedal? Sick.
Yeah. Here's our next entry. This one is from Psycat. Another 10 out of 10 name. The Green Mesa Vortex.
Love the tube running all the way through is so cool.
Is this the Buick wide job front end?
It is a little
kind of, yeah.
Yeah.
It feels like a Buick wide job mixed with like a 56 Cadillac.
Yeah. Yeah, especially with the fins and that style is very, very Cadillac of that sort of 56 to 58 period.
Yeah.
Looks like they mixed a little bit of the Lincoln Futura on this one.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, and the fins for sure.
I'm not sure
That's
this
so
cube.
Cool.
Some of this
no,
I
it's
really
a bit tall.
Yeah.
Also, those are not the right wheels.
No, the Bereni wheels are not really a good look for this one, I don't think.
No.
And as the chat is pointing out, this car is very upright. It doesn't feel sleek enough to be a really good concept car. It's very, very blocky.
Aurora pointed that if it had 2 bubble roofs, 2 canopies would look way better.
Yes.
Oh yeah, that's a good idea.
Yeah.
That's got some LeSabre. Yeah, it does.
The tube in the middle could be a little lower too.
Yep.
I feel like another thing that would have helped is that chrome fin, that the chrome line that goes into the fins should have extended all the way to the front.
I agree.
Because you end up with front fenders that are completely empty, and that's a no-no in the 50s. You got to have it all the way through.
Door
at least to some
handles
degree.
Could be a little bit modern for this car.
Agreed. Those tail lights are huge.
They are, and also not super era appropriate. Like the oval taillights like that. That's sort of like 1960, 61 kind of things. That was when they were really, especially in General Motors products. They were seemingly obsessed with that in that sort of 2-year window. Those are, I don't know. It's got some interesting ideas. I kind of like this view actually. It kind of minimizes the sort of our biggest criticisms that we leveled against this one.
Yeah, like the tube that goes all the way through is mega cool. Big points for that.
Yeah.
But it's just a bit tall. Like you can see, when you see the front end of the car, you can kind of see the body, like just the body, the baseline of where the body starts. And it's like, I don't know, maybe there should have been something there. Like just moving the headlights into those empty spaces above the bumper would have, in my opinion, made it better.
I hope you not intend to chat with the other person.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I also hope you really hope you don't crash, lest the tube explode.
Yeah. Yeah, it kind of looks like a load-bearing structure all the way through the car. It would be... I think it would actually be worse for whatever you crashed into rather than you as the crashee.
Mm.
This would be a spear on the other car.
Yeah. Something like that, you could just
Props
go right
to
through a
the-
whole building.
Props to the color, though. Very nice.
Oh, color's perfect. Color combination of the white leather seats and the almost avocado green, which was the color for everything back then. Yeah, that's a great color.
Don't worry, guys. The tube is filled with pillows, filled with asbestos. Perfect. And lead, don't forget.
Yep.
The paint also has
All the
lead
good
in
stuff.
there.
Okay, I'm gonna give this one a 6.5, I think, overall. Just because it's... Yeah. It's a little bit
I'll go
incoherent
for
in terms of era, a little
7.
bit incoherent in terms of style, but... Like, the general idea is pretty cool, and there are some really nice points, for sure.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna give it a 7. I really like the idea. It's quite nicely followed through. I just wish it was a bit, there's things here and there. Headlights,
Yeah.
chrome stripe,
Interior fridge.
Okay, our next entry.
Ooh.
This is from Debonair.
There he is. I knew he was gonna be in here.
The Andromeda L'America. Another 10 out of 10 name.
Andromeda.
Finally, someone that made early 60s the right way.
Yep.
That's perfectly early 60s.
Yeah, this is like, oh, those taillights.
Yeah. Yeah, those are quite something. aren't
Yeah,
they?
this does look like the Chrysler Norseman. I could get in on a long tangent about the story about that car, but long story short, Chrysler shipped it to Italy,
Mhm.
and then they designed it and built it there. And then when they finished it, they sent it on a ship back, and the ship sank, and the car never arrived. So that was a waste of like 4 years.
And money and time and everything. It's quite a sad
Yep.
story, but
Indeed.
just adds to the legend of the car, though.
Oh, for sure. There are photos of it, so we do know what it looks like or
Yep.
looked like. But
Mhm.
this is very good. I feel like this would be on a showroom floor in like 58, 59.
Yeah. Yeah, right when the wings, everybody was like, okay, maybe we went a little too far with that, and they started sort of getting smaller and more vestigial.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's... I really like this rear three-quarter view a lot. It's really nice. The front
Then
view,
I-
though, I think... This is maybe the
I
weakest
think-
view of the whole car, I think. Unfortunately.
Yeah, the photo doesn't really help, but I think
No.
the headlight, like I'm missing all my words today. The things around the headlights are a bit too square compared to the bumpers, which are very round.
Yeah. Yeah, there's kind of a mishmash of shapes of, lots of really square things and things that aren't quite so square. It's a little... This is maybe that's kind of the single biggest knock I have against the whole thing is it's just the front is a little on the weak side, I think.
Yeah.
Mhm. Rear end's great for
Oh yeah.
I think we've
I
got a
do
shot
kind of
of
wish
that
the rear had a
coming
bit of a. I do wish the rear had a bit of a bigger bumper, because the front's got some pretty good stuff going on, but the rear is. I mean, the taillight chrome sticks out further than the actual bumper,
Yeah.
which is a bit odd. I like it, but it's a bit odd. Though, shout out to the vents on the window. That's cool.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah, I like that. And yeah, I mean, I think the rear is, even from this very sort of clinical, straight-on rear shot, I think it's a much better and much more coherent design than the front is.
Yeah. Also, are those headrests in the 50s? Crazy.
Mm.
I know. Someone was thinking about safety in the 1950s. Hard to believe.
Ew, safety.
No, the color scheme for the interior is perfect. I mean, salmon
Agreed.
and white leather and chrome. There's nothing more 50s than that.
if you order it with this interior and silvery blue on the outside, you will be driving a Salmon. You'll be actually driving a Salmon.
Yeah, for sure. And of course, the chat's joking. I was like, yeah, geez, the next thing you know, he's got to have 3-point seat belts. My goodness.
Nah, that'll never happen.
No, that's silly.
No
Who
way.
would ever want
That's
those?
silly, yeah.
We don't even have a third point to mount it. Like on the roof?
Silly. Stupid
kidding me?
idea.
That'll never catch on.
I love the A pillar. Just I know a lot of 50s cars did that, but like the backwards facing A pillar is just, it's so great that they did it because they were like, well, look here, see, it's gonna make you see better and not have a blind spot. And then like 2 years later, they realized, wait a minute, when you crash with this thing, it just crumples like a soda can. Oops, that's not good.
That sounds like the story of a guy I heard some time ago that crashed a Corvair in the 60s, and then in the 90s he radiographed his arm, and the turn signal stalk was still embedded in his arm.
Oh my god.
See, Kanye's got the right idea here. It's just don't crash.
True. I mean, that is the solution right there. I've got you might have seen the IIHS tested a 59 Bel Air against an 09 Impala.
Oh, it was a 59 Impala, actually.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And, oof.
Oh.
I'm just going to put it in the chat here. There it is. Not too good. Meanwhile, the guy in the modern car could probably just walk away. But I don't think you're walking out of that.
Nope.
Anyway, back to the topic.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I love tangents.
Me too, but we have a lot of cars to judge yet.
Yes,
We do. That's a good photo there, by the way.
That's a fantastic photo. It's a very postcard.
That's a 35mm photo. That's a 35mm photo. He nailed it.
Yep. Right down to the color and sort of the washed out sepia of, you know, having been sitting in Grambo's photo album for 60 years.
I think I'm going to give this one like an 8, just because I love the idea.
Yeah.
It's a little... There are things I would do, but not a lot.
I'm going to go with a 7.5.
I'm going to go with an 8 as well. It's a really solid effort, and I really like it. It's just the front end is just a little bit on the weak side, I think.
Yeah.
It's just a little bit undercooked.
Yeah. A rare debonair miss on the front end.
Very rare.
I like the script that he chose
Just,
for the font there. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, very nice. You could chop the roof off of that and make it pretty crazy.
An
Maybe even
incredible
a taxi.
convertible. Yeah. That would be a crazy taxi, wouldn't it? Next up this is from Ellie. This one is more of a towards the later end of our design window. This would be sort of late 60s, early 70s when Italy was taking all the crazy drugs and made everything wedge-shaped.
I really like this. I see a lot of inspiration from a lot of different stuff here. I think, correct me if I'm wrong, but I see Colani Miura, but angular, and it's excellent.
Yep.
It kind of reminds me of the Tumblr too.
Oh yeah, kind of.
A little bit, yeah.
A little more asphalt spec for the term. Yeah, the tail lights could be at the sides, not at the canopy. I think it would look a little better.
I actually kind of like them where they are. It's such a weird thing to do, and they actually kind of work there in a way. I mean, on the sides, I can see that working for sure, but where they are, it's weird, but it works.
Yeah.
The exhaust looks like the exhaust of my car.
Yeah. This is a great view.
That's a good photo. Yeah.
It shows
I
how
feel like
wide it is.
It definitely benefits from like the high angle photos.
Yeah.
looks like out of the first racing video games. It almost looks like the an F-Zero if it was a car from the first games.
Oh yeah.
Like they were really angular.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. It's really got a very sort of 1980s racing game feel to it.
It does, yeah.
Where they've
Yeah, that's getting a high score for me.
yeah.
This is something you'd get for like a really obscure event long into Gran Turismo like 2.
Mm-hmm.
Excellent. I really like this. I like the fact that the rear is wider than the front too. So cool. It almost makes it look like a trike in a really good way.
The only thing I think that's missing from this picture is we need some, 1970s Italian model wearing a bright tinfoil spacesuit posing beside the car.
Yeah. That is good stuff though.
Yeah, it's
Very nice.
yeah, I really like that.
I don't really even have all that much to comment on. It's just really cool. I think
That's-
maybe the middle front is a little empty.
That's
Is
But,
there
like, it's-
a picture of the interior?
Hope so.
I think there's one. Let me just
And don't
Yeah.
spoil us.
here we are.
Hey, there we go.
Hey,
Yeah.
That's pretty cool. Yeah, I've-
that's great.
I do wish it had a more fitting steering wheel.
Yeah, that's
And that display is very 80s. Like
The
early
head-up
80s.
display.
If you lower the sun visor, you will still get sun in your face.
yep.
That's true. It's completely useless.
It has the buzz lights at the middle there.
On that
Yeah.
note, though, perfect seat choice. That is spot on.
Oh, it's
Yes.
perfection. Especially with like the really like they went and made the leather green a little bit on the coarse side, just as they would
Yeah,
in concepts of that era. It's really perfect.
it really is.
Make it look like some sort of an exotic leather with the wide embossing on it.
I kind of wish the mirrors were squared.
Yeah. I kind of
Oh,
wish the
there's
rear
the
view
mirrors.
mirrors. Yeah, they're way up in the...
I throw the little spats at the front fenders or the mirrors.
I thought they were too, actually. Those would have been perfect if there were square mirrors right on the front fenders instead of the round. Because that's the other thing too, is like Concept in this era tended not to have rear view mirrors anywhere.
Mm.
So, or if they did, they'd be something like absolutely insane, as Marcus pointed out, right in the front fenders.
Oh yeah, there was also the brief periscope movement
Yes.
with the Lancia Stratos Zero and the Countach as well. That could have been really cool on this thing.
I'm still bummed that the Dom Zero didn't make it to the finals.
Yeah, a bit of a shame, but it got close.
Just laughing about the chat here with Aurora and Kanye saying there's no ashtrays, it's not Italian enough.
Give it a 8.5 for this one.
Yeah, I think 8.5 is good for that. It's really cool and really unique. I think it's maybe the most unique concept we've seen of all so far. But it's just some of the
Yeah.
details I think just miss a little bit.
Yeah, I'm gonna join you guys on an 8.5. It's really cool. Could have been a little cooler, but not much. Again, it is really cool. It's only a couple things I'd change.
For sure.
You know what would really vibe with this car? A yoke.
Yes.
Yeah.
Just a crazy steering wheel rather than just this straight up production steering wheel. Something that's like
Generic
either
racing wheel.
either a yoke or something that's like almost perfectly rectangular. Just
Yeah.
absolutely
The
ridiculous.
wheel from the concept Countach would look good there too.
Yes.
Oh yeah. And that one Maserati that I forget the name of that has like all the dials inside of the wheel.
The birdcage.
Yeah.
Possibly, I don't remember, but either way, something really weird would have fit really well on that wheel.
On to our next one from Frederick Ledius.
Also, one of the GM XP concepts. 100%.
Yep. The ASX
I also feel
concept.
some Holden, whatever it was called from like '69.
Yeah.
Hurricane.
Holding something. Yeah, the Hurricane.
Yep.
The wheels are great. The wheels and
Yeah.
tires are amazing. This.
I like
Yeah,
the
the
rear
body
end.
lines are just gorgeous.
Just the way that the rear
is
end. It's so nice.
kind of like a Porsche 917K.
A little bit, yeah.
Yeah, kinda.
It's definitely got some Le Mans sort of GT40 917 feel of that era.
I wish
Yeah.
this had a race livery. It would look perfect
Ooh,
with
yeah.
racing livery.
Yeah.
The bronze color just isn't doing it much for me. The car is great, but the color is a little meh for the car.
I feel like the color does work, but not in this photo specifically because it kind of blends with the background.
Yep.
If the background was like blue or something, it would work better.
Oh god,
but
the front is ugly.
Yeah.
I feel like it's a little low, and that like air tunnel is maybe a bit too far forward, and it's also too angular. It should have been much rounder.
Yeah, it's a bit aggressive, isn't it?
Yeah.
I think also that grill, you know, the diagonal diamond doesn't really work that well here. And it's,
No.
I think it would have been better if it was just painted black rather than whatever. I don't think that's chrome or just white paint, but it just stands out a little too much, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's too bad because the rear is like 10 out of 10 for me, unquestionably. And the
Yeah,
side
the
profile's wonderful, but the front is just, it feels like something you'd, like a fish you'd pull out of the deep sea, you know, those really weird, deformed.
Yeah.
front-
Along
the
with that,
front- The front looks
it's just
like it's attached to the car. It doesn't look part of the car.
Yeah.
yeah. Also think maybe the roof is a little tall, just a little, but in this photo especially, it sticks out pretty high.
Yeah. And then from the rear, it's just so wonderful again.
Yeah, this is great.
And you get the hint of the interior there. That's a cool shape. This has the steering wheel that I wanted to see in the previous one, where it's just straight
Also,
up rectangular.
Blocko, no dissing big roofs. Your car didn't even have a roof.
Yeah, exactly.
What do you mean? I like the exhaust pipes. Even like that is cool. Look at those.
Yeah, those are awesome. All the detail in that section is just perfection. It's absolutely what I'd want to see from a car like this.
Yeah,
It's
just
just
the
that
front
front
again.
though,
I just
yeah.
now noticed that that splitter doesn't fit at all.
No. That's
If anything, it should just not have been there whatsoever.
or if you're insisting on a splitter, it should basically be rectangular instead of sort of an oval or ovoid shape.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Still can't get over that really angular air tunnel, like the top of it. It's just. If that had been round and a little higher, maybe the headlights moved up a little, much nicer.
I'm almost afraid to imagine what this would have looked like with the headlights popped up, because I'm assuming it has pop-up headlights. It would look
Quite
really-
froggy.
Yeah. It would make a Frog Eye sprite look downright normal.
Yeah.
Plus, the little light under the headlight would not give space for the headlight to go up. Or
Yeah.
what I
Oh,
think
that's
he do-
true.
What I think he done here is he pulled an FCRX7 thing where the front has a lens so you can flash your lights without raising them.
Yeah.
It looks
Sort of like driving or running
possibly,
lights,
yeah.
or fog lights. I'm struggling a little bit with this one, gentlemen, for scores, because I really like the
Same
rear end,
here.
but the front is just so
Yeah.
goofy.
The good parts are
Just,
really good, the bad parts are really bad. That's a really big problem.
Yeah, it's like both. I'm putting a photo into the event stage as well. Both me and you, Marcus, we've got the air duct like kind of up high, so that the headlights have plenty of space. And I feel like this car just doesn't do that. And I guess it's to like make it look a little lower and sleeker, but I don't think it works all that well. Also, that steering wheel, when left in the sun, is going
Yeah.
to
Oh.
burn the hell out of you.
This car and the previous car should swap steering wheels because the steering wheel of the other one fits on this.
Yeah, I agree completely.
True.
The interior is really nice too, because like
Yeah.
just overall, it's the custom gauges, I especially like the middle gauge with the 3 indicators for oil, water, and fuel. That's nice.
Yeah.
And the detail for all the ventilation controls in the center stack. There's a lot of attention was paid to this.
I think we go with like a 6.5 out of 7.
I'm gonna go with a 7.5 out of principle because I really like the idea. Once again, it's just there are certain things that I would change.
Yeah.
So
I'm gonna go with an 8, just because I like the interior so much and I like the rear so much that the front.
Valid.
And if I was just looking at it from the front, I'd give it like a 5, but everything else bumps it up. You know, it's sort of 10 out of 10 and 10 out of 10, but 5 for the front. So we'll call it an 8, I guess.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah, that's. I think this is my favorite interior so far of all the concepts we've seen. Yes.
Ooh.
This one's from Ivan Oriology. The Tyrio-Aryan concept. You know, another, again, 10 out of 10 name. This one we got lots of images for, so we'll flip through them. It's very, very clean. Almost like a spaceship.
Typing. This is...
This picture looks really good.
Yeah. The only
This
thing
reminds me of something, but I can't remember
what. It looks
what.
like the Alfa Romeo bat. It really looks one of the Alfa Romeo bats.
It does.
It reminds me a little bit, and I might be mistaken here, it reminds me a little bit of like one of the Firebird concepts that GM did from...
Yeah, it's like it's a Firebird concept plus that GM stiletto.
Yeah.
What year was it from? Did it say?
I can't recall if it actually...
The swap bar.
Yeah.
Carson
actually...
Opus. Yeah. How do you get in? Is it a cockpit?
You just
I assume it must be.
transport
I
in.
assume this top part slides to the front.
They'll invent teleportation technology. You just stand next to it and just, then you're in.
Exactly.
You get in by osmosis. It's just lay on the top of the car and you get.
You sink in.
There's a few that it reminds me of, but I do still like this. Even with this is an example of leaving large spaces empty in a proper way, because it goes with the design. There are large empty spaces intentionally, and you can tell.
Yep.
Like the whole area behind the cockpit is just a slope with nothing on it, and it works. The whole side is just nothing, and it works.
It looks like the guy is carrying 2 surfboards.
On the sides.
A little bit.
Yeah. Yeah, this is one, I don't know if any of you recall way back a couple years ago when we did our official design competition. We had Klaus Ciciora who was the head designer of Volkswagen and now is the head designer of Chang'an Automobile in China. He basically talked about minimalist design and said that when you do a design like that, you have to rely very heavily on form and shape of your bodywork. And that's where this really excels. It has very strong shapes, but very minimalist details.
I almost want the file for this to see how the fuck did it sort this thing.
It's very smooth, and it's pretty impressive.
I have a pretty good idea how they would have done this, and it's actually a lot simpler than you might think. But to pull it off still is a lot of work.
The interior could be better.
Yeah.
I mean, it's minimalist as well. I like that. I'm guessing that whole front there is one fixture, like the vent, and it's very cleverly placed.
Yep.
The center console being just a cube is not helping.
No, I don't like that gear shifter either.
No, it feels really out of place.
Yeah.
And I have to say that I like the idea of sort of the floating glass displays for, time and your stereo and your speed, but that's really out of place in terms of era.
Yeah.
Also, the other thing, FM radio in the 1950s and 60s, no. That was a 1970s thing, basically, when it really came on. I mean, that's such a minor nitpick. That's just basically making fun of them.
We have to critique something on this.
Yeah.
We gotta find something. Can't be perfect.
No. It's pretty close, though.
Yeah.
Are those... no, they aren't. I thought those are Volkswagen Beetle pedals, but they aren't.
Oh, yeah.
The steering wheel looks 1990s to me, honestly.
It does.
It has that Xbox One aesthetic.
That 1990s look when everybody had these really weird steering wheels and everyone was like, yeah, we're going to go to yokes.
Yeah. I don't know why. I keep thinking about a Dreamcast controller.
Yeah, it does have a little bit of that. Yeah, that sort of late 90s video game controller. You know, whether it's that or obviously it's missing the center, but like a GameCube controller too. Just without
and by the way,
the center horn.
On the picture of the guy driving, it's really hard to position this driver on the car, and like it's really good on the positioning.
Agreed.
Yeah.
The angle of the photo looks like a trick I use to hide on the angle the parts that are not fitting perfect. For example, you can see his feet are not on the pedals. They're probably below the car, but he got the hands in the perfect position and it looks really good. That's a nice job.
Yeah,
for sure.
All the photos in this are excellently composed. You can't,
very much.
Just from a photography perspective, this is like 10 out of 10. Now, this is exactly what you see in. You walk into a dealership in 1961, and you see sort of the open concept desks everywhere, and this is what you see on the desk of. Okay, actually, we do have a date, 1970. Sorry.
The base is just.
That's a 1970.
That's great. The base of the model is the Challenger hoop scoop.
This is the kind of model you'd see on the sales manager's desk at a dealership.
That is way too old for 1970.
Yeah, like when I said 1961, that's kind of the era that I was thinking when I saw this. Like that's.
Yeah, I agree. Like the first year I had in my head was like 1961, 62, maybe. 1970, that's way too new.
Yep. I don't know if I can necessarily fault them for that, because that's. But.
Shouldn't have mentioned that.
Yeah, exactly. Completely owned.
I want to give it. I think I'm going to give it a 9. Because I know this must have been super annoying to make, but it did turn out really nice. I do wish it was like an early 60s instead of a 1970, but I mean, the car is a car. The year isn't the hardest thing to change.
I'll give it an 8.5, I think.
8.5.
Fair.
Yeah, it's just like the exterior styling is wonderful. The interior is generally pretty good, but some of the details just kind of take me a little bit out of it, unfortunately.
Yeah, so. I do wonder if we'll see some 10s this time.
I don't know. I'm looking at what's remaining, and there are still some very good-looking cars yet to come. So we've been really harsh on them this time around, though. So
yeah, we have, yeah. We got to be nicer, but that would be unfair to the people we've already done. So let's continue hating.
Yep.
I usually avoid giving 10s on this sort of stuff because you'll never know what will come next.
We have given some 10s in the past, but they have been deserved 10s. So we shall see.
Yep. Yeah, there's the 10s we have given in previous challenges are just, there's something that's so very obviously deserving of it that you'd be silly not to. So on to the next one, entry here from Kai Kai.
That's Lego. That's made with Lego.
Just a first comment that I mentioned. I think I've said this every time I've been in the judging panel. Paint your brake calipers.
Please.
Never forget to paint your brake calipers because they are red and it doesn't fit.
Nope. It does not.
Also, why is it on Steelies? Good question. Should have had some cups on there.
Yep.
I have a similar comment about the brake calipers. Please space your brakes properly.
Yeah.
Your brakes will almost always be way down there. Just bring them closer to the wheel, please.
Yep.
Also, how are those headlights going to work?
Yeah.
That's a secret. They aren't.
Yeah.
They'll light up like a light bulb, It's I can't really place this one because this feels like this feels like a 1970s take on the 50s, and it doesn't quite work.
I think the details are good, but the surfacing is way below expectations at this moment.
Yeah, look, there's no rear bumper. And granted, there's no front bumper.
No,
those
not.
3 holes in the roof are very out of place.
Yep. Like if it was just sort of the glass panels over the driver and passenger, that would have been perfectly fine and cool. But the three holes in the middle, just it's weird. Now the other thing that I kind of want to point out is how pointy the headlights are, which is also weird. But then how blunt and round the taillights are. You know, you kind of want them to be the opposite, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah. This rear bumper is like early 2000s, late 90s, early 2000s. It looks like a car built to look like the 50s over a modern platform.
Yeah.
This feels like, you know, one of the 90s/2000s Ford Thunderbirds that's been dressed up to look like a 1950s car.
Oh yeah. It does.
Yeah, unfortunately, that's not getting much points from me.
No.
Yeah.
Same.
I'm gonna go 5.5 on that one, I think.
I'm gonna give it a 4.
4.
Mostly just detail shots.
A lot of photos. Yeah. That is a drawer of a glove box.
Yeah, it is too, isn't it? It's like a microwave oven almost.
Yeah.
The cluster looks good, but it's way too late 1980s for this car.
Yeah. I think actually I'm going to downgrade my score a little bit. I'm going to take it to a 5. Having seen that refrigerator of a glove box.
Yeah.
The door handle is in the upper part of the... Yeah. That will break. That thing will break. That thing will not work first, and then it will break.
I almost just thought that the mirror was a 4th hole in the roof.
Okay, Kanye West.
Oh, yes.
This is an older take on a Ferrari modulo.
Yeah, it's a similar idea.
100% a Ferrari modulo. The holographic canopy is a great idea, but the way you did it is not that good.
Yeah, I know. Like Kanye, it feels funny talking to Kanye in here. Mr. West.
Yes.
The way you build cars with texture overlapping means you can do it really quickly and you can make really cool things, but it ends up a little messy. Yeah. And I really, really like this car, but look at those white stripes over the fenders.
I think he could photograph it on a photo scene that hides this stuff, because there are some.
Yeah.
Yeah, photos definitely help a lot. That's how I hide a lot of my messy stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But man, look at that shape, though.
Yeah, the shape is incredible, and it's.
It's all futuristic front to rear, and then in the rear there's a normal wood guard behind the wheel.
Oh,
yeah, there is too. That's a little weird. Yeah.
Don't want to get it dirty, I guess.
No, obviously not. Your hyper expensive concept car. So this is.
Oh yeah.
The whole family.
That's it right there.
From start to finish.
I in fact made one of these, the one on the bottom right, and then Kanye modified it. Otherwise, it's just him.
They're a family.
I'm just gonna flip back to some of the other photos here.
The tail lights are pretty good.
The taillights are basically perfect.
Yeah, actually, Kanye, where are the headlights? If it has them. Yeah.
They are on the hologram thing on the front.
Oh, they're under. Okay. That's legal, but that's fine. We'll just pay off the Italian government. They'll say okay.
Mm-hmm.
I thought they were like the Aston Martin Bulldog, like on the front triangle there.
Oh yeah. Yeah, true. That would have been a cool location. But yeah, I get. Yeah, if they're under, okay. Yeah, fair enough.
Yeah, I don't know.
If anything, I should have looked into this thing more, but.
Yeah. Also, something I kind of want to point out that the vent underneath the passenger compartment, that's a little bit odd from this view.
Yeah.
I think that's really
I think from this...
That's the only knock I can come up with for the shape and sort of the feel of this design. I mean, I'm just ignoring the 3D fixture stuff because a lot of it is unavoidable, and I can't really fault Kanye for how that was done. So.
Yeah, fair. I think in this photo, it's a bit awkward. If you look at it from the side, though, like the way the white stripe follows like the whole side almost is really cool. You can kind of see it like starting there as well.
Yeah,
there you go. Yeah, that's pretty cool. I kind of wish there was a little like body colored splotch on just the front of it.
Yeah,
but
just to
still,
sort of
it's
fill in a little behind the front wheel arch there. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a great
Are there
shape,
any
but-
brands that are solidly in the semi-official lore? I don't know. I think so. There are some in the campaign, aren't there, Chips?
Most of the brands we have are just essentially randomly generated names and stuff. We've deliberately avoided taking community brands just because it's, we don't want to basically sort of, show too much favoritism, and also because the way that a lot of the brands work is they would end up making a lot of cars that, the person who designed and made the brand sort of notable in the first place would probably have never made in the first place. Like, I don't think we'd see a D'Infinity sort of delivery van now, would we?
No, you probably wouldn't. There's a pickup truck, but not a delivery van yet. If you need one, I'm right here. Wink, wink.
So we
I do,
deliver physical copies of automation now.
Pulling up with a V12 delivery van.
Sure, why not? I think I'm going to give this one an 8.5.
They have to buy the DLC.
Yeah.
I do have a photo somewhere of a Dean Ferry pickup truck. I will find that while I also say that we don't really usually give scores like in between, do we? It's always like 0.5 or a whole number.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, we do try to give half-point increments on scores, essentially, as we judge.
Yeah,
but
I'm stuck between an 8.5 and a 9.
Yeah.
I think I'm going to go with a 9, just because I am such a sucker for those like late 60s wedgie stuff. It's so cool.
I'll go with 8 because the idea is on par with the two I've scored highest, but the execution is a little bit below.
Fair.
Yeah. And I mean, I have to echo your sentiments, Ukraine. I absolutely love wedge cars like this. That's one of the reasons why I kind of extended the design window beyond, from the normal jet age into the space age and stuff, and because I just wanted to see wedge cars because they're cool.
Yeah, Kanye, you do make cars really fast, and I wish I could.
Yeah.
But it's really impressive that you do.
Yeah, I mean, when I sit down and make a car these days, on the very rare occasion that I do, it's like a 40-hour affair, and it takes me like many months.
Yeah, for me, I sit down. I'm always like, I will finish this car in one session, and then I end up sitting there for like 4 hours. And at that point, like, I don't know, maybe I'll get some inspiration again soon, but not right now. But who knows? Who knows? Maybe I'll suddenly come up with something. I do want to come up with something. I just need to.
Since now I can't stand my cars not having chassis and interior and engine base, I separate an entire day only for that, and then I do the design.
The interior is the last thing that I do.
No, I do it first because it's easier to place the fixtures of the interior if there's nothing on the outside.
That's fair.
True. Also, there is an interior. Are there any photos?
There are no photos of the interior, to my knowledge.
Well, negative 10 points for that.
Because you can see that from this picture here that it's a 3-seater in sort of the McLaren F1 style.
Oh, yeah.
With a central driver and 2 passengers off to the sides. That would have been cool to see, but I have a feeling that with the way that the 3D fixtures were done through the roof, it would have been a little unfortunate to look at. But, I mean, Kanye points out, there's enough of an interior here that you can see from the outside. So,
I get the idea.
It's there, for sure.
Yeah.
Meu Deus, muito
Also, as the CEO of Dean Ferry, this photo brings me joy.
Yes. So here's our
Very
next
nice.
entry. Speaking of maybe, here is Maybe's entry. This one actually has no name, unfortunately, which is too bad because it could really use a cool name. Being
Oh, what do you mean? And I love the
asymmetrical.
Okay, but we are judging the card that was cut to make the right part or the left part.
Tell you what, one of you guys judge the right part, the other judge the left, and I'll judge both of them together.
Yeah, no, I don't know about this one, Chief.
I love it. It's great.
Which side were you? Which side do you think is good again?
See, I like the idea of the asymmetric car myself. I think it's cool.
And
it's,
really cool idea.
It's really hard to pull off in automation too, just because of how the game works. It does not like asymmetrical stuff.
No, it doesn't. I remember making an asymmetrical car in like 2018, and it took way longer than I was expecting. I don't really know what I was expecting because you literally have to make 2 cars. But still, it was an event.
And you have to make one of the cars entirely out of fixtures, which sucks.
Yeah.
It does.
It's cool. It's not top of the score cool, but it's cool.
Yep. I wish the photos were a little bit less sort of Vaseline smeared in the lens, though. And it's kind of weird because the rear, looking at it here, I mean, the rear is completely symmetrical. It's normal. Well, normal, quote unquote. It's just the front, basically from the rear wheels forward, is just completely insane. Which is cool, don't get me wrong, but...
Which side you guys think is the canon side?
This is a I don't know. I feel like it's too low.
It's very flat.
We had kind of the opposite. Yeah, we had kind of the opposite thing with that green one earlier, but this one sits too low. Those fenders don't fit in the 50s.
No.
It kind of looks like the flat mobile. You guys ever seen this car?
Yeah, it does. It does look like the Flatmobile.
Yes.
I think that, as well as inspired by the Firebird, like 2 or 3.
Yep. Agreed. Especially with the... I don't know if you can call it the passenger side, because, I mean, where do you even sit on that side? But, yeah.
You know what this looks to me? It looks like the side that has the driver is entirely sculpted, and then the other side, which has the powertrain, is just like the cover of a diesel electric generator, which is just a square box.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, a bit.
You only have fine design for the human, and then the machine is just a box.
Yeah. It kind of looks like something that you'd see in Carmageddon if you put like some spikes on it or something. I don't know, but I don't know about this one.
This one makes me think a Hot Wheels model, but not a Hot Wheels model from today, but a Hot Wheels model from like when, you know, back when dinosaurs roamed the earth when I was growing up, when they were a little bit sort of crazily designed, but haphazardly designed, basically.
Yeah, still trying to figure out what they were going to do.
Exactly.
I don't know.
You had like really realistic Hot Wheels. They didn't really know what they wanted to do.
Yeah. Back when the designers actually had like strong glue to huff in the first place, you know, before they took all the solvents out of it.
This is the product of lead in the paint. With the idea is cool, and I think it should be further developed, but it isn't developed enough, and I think I'm gonna give it a 4. It feels a little mean. But it's too low. It's a little messy. The paint, I don't like the paint. It looks like the default paint.
Yeah,
I think that might just be just inherent. I don't like the default paint. The wheels are too far out and they're too wide, and I don't like the wheels. But most of all, it's like that diffuser as well is no there were no diffusers in the 50s.
Nope.
Yeah, it looks like how the default paint looks in PBR.
Yeah.
Because it looks pretty different.
Mm-hmm.
In PBR,
Oh, so yeah, any red paint with any red
oh,
paint with
fuck.
lots of flake looks like the default paint. It does.
Yeah.
I personally just have like an aversion for the default paint. Anything that looks like it, it just makes me think default paint.
This game makes me hate red cars.
Metallic red cars, just no.
I wish the cars stayed with that clay color they look like when you are choosing the chassis when you're going to design.
Yeah, it does.
That
Yeah,
color-
that's the default red.
That color is good for design. I have one that I apply on my cars to design them.
Yeah,
I
no,
think
I always use clay now.
I will counter and say that there are certain red paints and certain combinations of red, especially if you get your flake right, that look really good. But the default red paint is... I think some of the reasons why everybody dislikes the default red paint is just because we see it all the time and it's so tiring.
It's
Yeah.
like the soundtrack from the game. Everyone that has like 1,000 hours plus on the game hates the soundtrack because they
Yeah.
listen it too much.
Yep. You just kind of
Yeah.
get tired of it.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm going to give this one a 5 myself, just because it's a really interesting idea. It's, as you both say,
Because
it's just half-baked.
Because it's
Yeah.
vibe with the weird shit I like, I'm gonna give it a 6.5.
Fair.
That's fair. Yeah,
Lots of disagreements this time. That's a good thing, though.
it is. Next entry is from Maird, the Jefferson Dorado. Another great name.
Good name.
Now, I gotta say with this one, I should preface this by saying that Maird is known within the community for making extreme asymmetric cars. So I'm kind of wondering, were you feeling okay when you designed this because it's a completely symmetrical car?
Yeah, that's weird. Why is it the same on both sides?
I know.
Strange.
It's weird, but I really kind of dig it actually overall.
I love the full surround bumper.
Yeah, that's...
Yep.
Very cool.
And it goes all the way
That-
around the car, front and rear.
Yeah.
That's
In a
straight up
great big
a
lap.
Mazda, baby.
I did a car like this a very long time ago.
Mhm.
Oh, I just found photos of it. The Serpent Neptune from, I think, 56? There's a terrible photo of it. Just this kind of design is just super cool. I love it's like a Pontiac Club de Mer type thing.
Yep.
And it on this thing as well, it just works really well. Though one question that I do have, why does it have headlights in the grille and then also pop-ups?
You can never have too much light, I guess.
True. Maybe fog lights? Yeah, possibly.
Yeah,
Pretty big for fog lights, though.
They could be turn signal. They are a little yellowish.
and they're a little big for turn signals too, though.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's a concept car.
That's
Yeah,
true.
it is a concept car.
Yeah, you can't really
that's how you escape from criticism. Oh, that's a concept car.
just
Ah,
hand wave
okay.
it away. Exactly.
I love the fin that goes like almost into the cockpit. It's
Yeah.
that kind of fin is off what? Like I forget the exact car that it's off, but that kind of fin that like goes diagonally down at the rear. So cool.
It's a very mid-50s sort of thing to have a sort of the one central fin. I think ever since everybody saw
Yeah.
the Le Mans prototypes of that era, like the C-type and D-type with the fin in it, although those weren't centralized, they were off to the side behind the driver, as I recall. I might be mistaken
Yeah,
on that.
they
though.
were.
It's still
They
something
were,
that-
yeah, you're right.
They saw that, they're
drag
like-
from the driver's helmet because those cars were speedsters.
Yeah,
That and man, it looks cool. That's the more important thing.
Yep.
I like how the bodywork in the interior sort of cascades in a waterfall down the rear into the car. I mean,
Yeah.
that is a perfect sort of 1950s touch.
Very much.
Yeah.
It's a really refined car. He
It
didn't
is.
try to be edgy as the other cars. He just refined it a simple look.
Yeah.
Not
it's-
sure about the tailpipes.
They're a bit strange.
I
Yeah.
get it, but I think it would have been better if they were like elongated vertical kind of sticking out of the body instead, or even just coming out of the bumper.
or even
if
completely
anything,
hidden. I mean,
yeah, or hidden.
This was
if anything, I would have. If anything, I would have done like take the tail lights, copy them, and put them upside down below the bumper, empty them out, and have the exhaust come out of there.
Yeah, that would have been cool.
I joked about being a concept car, but this and that other sedan that we only like the rear are the only two cars until now that look like production cars.
True.
All the other ones were purely concept. This one and the other two are pretty much showroom ready, bar some small stuff.
This does look believable.
Yeah.
Not, you know, it's. I don't think the fin would make it to production personally, but the design itself. True. The design itself, though, is it's conservative in a good way. It feels like it's a bit held back, but realistically so.
Yep. Yeah, I quite like how this one turned out, personally.
It's one of the few cases where I wish it was crazier.
Kind of. I do think it's restrained, though, in a good way. It would have been cool. It would have been cool if it was crazier, but I don't know if it necessarily be any better.
I wonder if we have any interior shots. Oh, no, we don't.
If only it had a checkered livery on the side. Yeah, that would have been very crazy. It would have, in fact, been a crazy taxi. Whoa.
I see what you did there.
Yeah.
I'm going to give this an 8 overall.
Yeah.
Actually,
I'd say an 8.5 on this.
Yeah, you know what? 8.5 is fair, I think. It's just such it's a very complete, mature design, to say the least.
Very much.
Yeah,
7.
Too tame for me.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, okay, fair. I do kind of wish it had different wheels.
Yeah, they're a little... I'm not sure about the red, actually, is my thing. That doesn't really match.
Wait, is that red? I thought that was chrome.
It's very much red.
That is red. Oh.
The wheels are default color.
Oh, no, the taillights are the default color. Oh, no. I don't think I'm going to lower the score.
Yeah.
Just because the red stuff. I mean, I think maybe a red interior would have complemented it. But yeah. I do still like it.
Yeah, I struggle with, knocking off for the red wheels, but the rest of it is just so good and so well considered that I'd feel really uncharitable if I did that at this point.
I feel like the car would smell minty, says Bang. Yeah, a bit. It kind of looked like a mint. Sick.
No. That fucks. Sorry, that fucks.
Yeah.
Yeah,
it does.
That's quite something.
And the guy that drives it too.
Oh, definitely. Look at that shape. Oh.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
I like the follow around. Like, once again, following the whole side around with the stripe. Awesome.
Yep.
Now, this thing has the quality of the other ones, but looks more production ready.
Oh, yeah.
That's the thing.
I don't know about the headlights. I think maybe I would have liked some pop-ups, but I also I also kind of like the fact that it doesn't have pop-ups because everything else does.
Yep.
I would pull
I would not have gone with the NACA ducts though there in the front. I would have gone with probably just like a grill or something, like a louvered.
I would pull the lights inside of the NACA duct.
Oh no, that's an interesting idea. Ooh.
That would have been cool, yeah.
There were some concept designs for the Quadra VTEC from Cyberpunk that had that. NACA ducts with the headlights inside.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it would have been very aerodynamically terrible, but it sure would have looked cool. Yeah. I think maybe just some like square vents as well with the headlights in it could have been cool. Like kind of vectory.
Cares for aerodynamic.
True.
It's all about being cool. That's all that matters.
Oh, yeah.
This is the coolest car ever. I want this thing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, this is pretty awesome.
Maybe we'll see our first 10 from Marcus.
Yeah,
Ooh,
maybe.
Maybe.
This
especially
is really
like,
sick, though.
I think of all the angles and all the shapes in this car, I like the way that the taillights and the stripe integrate into the way that the rear body is shaped. That's my favorite part of this one.
Absolutely.
The wheels and tires
The-
are really well chosen. They really
Yeah,
vibe with the car.
Those rims are perfect.
Yeah.
Could not have been a better choice.
I just wish they weren't 4-lug
It's
rims.
too low to drive.
Agreed.
Yeah, it's a little bit too low for normal driving. I hope this
Oh,
thing
yeah.
has our suspension.
Yeah.
Nah, you don't need it. You'll be
Nah,
driving
it's-
in some country road in Italy. That's so cool. Oh,
Yeah, it's got
That's really cool.
the right shape and everything.
Which plate is this?
I think it's just
Old-
whatever. That kind
Old
of looks like an
Portugal?
Italian plate from the 70s and 60s, but not really.
yeah. I mean, Portalcat is in the chat. Portalcat, which plate is this? Do you know? It's okay if you don't, but you know, since you're here.
Or is it just something he did to sort of look not really, look the part but not really be anything in particular?
Yeah, that's also fair. This is a cool photo.
The
Yeah.
intakes
I wish it
could
was a
be-
little bit better composed though, because the axis from the nose to
Yeah.
the tail of the car is a little bit off. But it's
Yeah, it is. It's a little angled. Also, the flat portions on top of the rear fenders. Yeah, maybe a vent could have done well there.
yeah.
The Nakadex from the front could be there at the rear.
Yeah.
I'm not so sure. I
Any
mean,
interior photo?
There's a lot of work going on with the engine compartment, but I'm not super sure about that. I mean, it's obviously a V16 engine, and you want to show that off because, I mean, that's the biggest, craziest, most prestigious engine you can do, right, in automation. But it feels, with the hose clamps and the rubber boots and stuff, it feels like it's, an engine from the 2000s transplanted into a 60s body.
Hmm.
Interior
I
is
think he
awesome,
would-
though. Look at
he-
this.
Oh
he
yeah.
If he would made this engine with individual DCOEs, it would look way better back there.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
more period correct.
Or even just like,
Yeah, I think I could agree with that.
Wait. He made the linkage from the shifter.
yes, he did.
Oh yeah. Very Pagani type.
This is
Good way.
This is really good.
Yeah.
Yeah, I really do like this.
The seat, the bottom part of the seat is a little short. You're gonna slide forward, for sure.
Yeah. I like the headrest, but yeah, I agree with that. It's a little short to maybe sit comfortably on. Then again, it's a supercar. You don't need to be comfortable. You just need to look cool.
Exactly.
Yeah, there's this.
Yeah, the seats are a
What's
little bit
the
oddly
round
proportioned.
thing on the top of the dash.
what is-
I don't know. What is that thing on top of the dash? That orb.
We'll just call it the orb.
It's
Yeah, the
for
orb.
thundering.
I like the detail in the side panels and the door cards and stuff. That's
Oh yeah.
that's really good. And I like how I don't think that's wood. I don't know what material he used. Actually, it's part of it is wood and part of it is something else. How it wraps all the way around the cabin.
Very cool.
You can see that a little better here.
I bet that shifter feels so crisp.
I bet it feels really hot though in the sun.
Definitely. Well, at least the steering wheel isn't metal.
But I mean, you will feel really hot driving this.
Yeah,
So it
you were in a
matches.
Yeah. Bit of an oven.
just a bit.
But again, you look cool.
Yep. And the critical thing is I don't think there's any windows that can roll down. And I would
And there's no
Even-
air vents on the dash.
Yeah,
You're gonna
there's no
go
vents.
inside
Yeah.
of it.
yeah, you're
Only
gonna
driving at night.
which is fine. I think this one
When you look this cool, it's okay.
yeah. Yeah, I mean you're gonna be there's no cooler car than this if you're driving around at night. Score wise.
So what do we
Unless the
think?
V16 overheats.
True. I mean, that's your heater right there. Just drive it at night. Drive it in the winter. It's perfect.
I'm gonna give this one a
Yeah.
9, I think, for score.
This guy will get my highest score too now, 9.5.
Ooh, close. I think I'm gonna go with a 9 as well. I really like the shape of it.
Yeah, there's just a few little details that are just not quite there, but it's otherwise it's fantastic. So this is from Priam, the Sinclair Thunderjet.
This
Oh,
is
that is
that other. Hold the fuck up! I have a car of this era that also called Sinclair.
Uh-oh. Copyright battle.
Wow, look at that.
That's just
This is
nuts.
This is what the first cars we've seen should look like.
Yeah, agreed.
This
Like
is-
the one that had those tubes from earlier. This
Yeah.
is not to
This-
like downgrade that one, but this is very, very good.
This is their idea, but executed better.
This is executed in terms of that idea, I'd say almost perfectly.
Yeah.
Yep. This is exactly what I imagine a car with this team look like.
Yeah, this is
Yeah, this one's getting a high score too.
I love how wide it is. Look how much space there is on the outside of the seats.
yeah. Yeah, there's lots of room in this thing. You know, this is the kind of car you drive when you're the boss in the 1950s.
Oh yeah. It's the kind of car where it's self-driving and you like swing your seat to the back to talk to the people there.
Yep.
It's in the one of those like 50s ads that are like, "Yep, here's the future." And they're driving this.
Mm-hmm. Like even along the sides, like there isn't a whole lot of detail, but what is there with the 3D fixture placement is very carefully considered. It's very clean too.
Mm.
Yeah, the surface is a really good.
Yeah, lots of good surfacing. Yeah, I don't think this would be
Don't
something that goes
drive
through
it in
McDonald's
the
drive-through.
Don't
easily.
drive it in the winter
No,
unless you want snow all over your wheel arches.
packed up inside your wheel arches completely.
Oh,
Speaking of that, how going back to there's not really a whole lot of visible ability for this thing to turn.
no, there's really not. And again, I mean, in the future, America's going to be all highway. That's okay.
Exactly. Oof, that's a bit of a
rear
rough
wheel
shot.
steering.
Sorry.
If your rear wheel steers a little bit, you can counter a lot of non-steering at the front.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, possibly. Hopefully the hydraulic system doesn't break down. I love
Yeah.
the mirrors.
Or the vacuum.
I mean, they're going to be... The mirrors are going to be useless, but they look really cool.
Mhm.
Yeah.
That front
this
end
one
as
actually
well
has-
with the headlights and like... The headlights and like the smaller lights below, like the casing is really cool.
Like Kid says, it takes steers.
I like the grille detail. The grille texture behind is maybe a little bit on the big side, but the bars, I mean, that's spot on.
Kinda
Yeah,
looks muscular.
Mm-hmm.
it does.
It looks like if a bodybuilder was a car.
This doesn't even look like a production car, especially from this view. This looks like something that like Chip Foose would dream up,
Yeah.
or even maybe even going further than that, like a Sid Mead concept. Like it's just totally over the top.
Actually, yeah. Very much, yeah. That's really cool. I don't really have many things to knock it on. This is just really cool. I like the. I'm guessing that the omission of white walls is deliberate, and it's a good thing on this thing because it almost hides the wheels.
Yeah.
The dent he put on the trunk is a really good trick. I've used it on some of my cars.
Same.
Oh yeah. Yeah, that's a good one.
I think maybe I get that the rear is trying to like emulate the front, so it's it looks similar. But I feel like the painted section of the taillights
Mhm.
doesn't quite fit because it works really well on the front end, but on the rear end, it's just I don't know. Maybe it could have had a little nicer switch over onto the chrome part.
This one I sent has the same dent on the roof and on the trunk. It looks
yeah.
really good, and when people find out you can use any fixture to do anything is when they find out that you can use this plating dent to make body lines.
Exactly.
I would show one of my cars as well, but I think my hard drive has decided not to load any photos, so I guess I'll hold.
Uh-oh.
Impending doom, but it's fine. I'll take it when I get there.
Push through.
Yeah, it'll be fine.
I'm gonna give this one. I'm struggling between a 9 and a 9.5 on this one.
Yeah.
This one you get a 9 because it is not as cool as the one from before.
Yeah, I think it's gonna get a 9 as well for me.
I think I'll go with a 9 as well. Yeah.
Yeah, that's another fantastic car. Okay, next up is from Riley.
Ooh.
And this is an actual flying car.
Oh yeah. Well then, why has it got wheels?
Well, you gotta land at some point.
True.
Whenever I see someone make an actual flying car, I always think, man, they could just put some 4 rubber blocks under the car. They don't need wheels. They don't need the complication to turn the wheels. Just put some 4 wooden or rubber blocks under the car, and you'll be fine.
Just do like helicopter, like landing skis. It's all good.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
Huh.
Mm-hmm. I know how he did the cluster, but I never thought you could do it like that.
How do you fly this thing, actually? Do you hold, like, which...
I'm assuming the stick is how you control it.
I'm assuming height is the smaller one, and the larger one just pivots you in a flat plane. It would be a simpler way to fly a flying car.
I imagine, though I would have preferred, having been in a few planes, you have as well, Chips, I think I would have preferred to have it in the middle.
Yeah.
Like, of the seat, that is.
Like a proper
it would have been more annoying to... Yeah, because I think just having to switch hands between the elevation and the stick is a bit, I don't know.
Yeah, you don't really want to have to be taking your hand off when you're trying to land in poor weather. Take your hand off the control column to make a throttle adjustment. And have
automatic landing?
Oh, you might have to do
True.
that, yeah.
But what if it breaks? Uh-oh.
I mean, if anything breaks on this thing, you're screwed.
Yeah, true.
Yeah.
There are no recalls for this car.
Nope. Everyone is a happy customer, and the ones who aren't, well, they're dead, so... It's all good. It's very shiny.
It's very shiny and chrome.
Why do you have an iPad playing that fucking brick game kids love on the middle of the bed?
I think those are like warning lights or enunciators or something.
Oh, yeah.
Those are space fillers.
Shout out to the license plate, though. License plates that have the car's like name on it. Yes. Excellent. I love that stuff.
Definite hard yes for something like that. Something I will point out, though, is that I think Riley may need to tune his ray tracing settings just a little bit because he's getting some pretty crazy ambient occlusion.
Yeah,
going on.
It's pretty crusty.
Yeah.
You know, the pictures are really good, but I think the car is a little bit simple.
Yeah, I think maybe the chrome-ish like paint is kind of messing with it almost.
Yeah, it's hard to pull off
just
a color and metallicity like that for a car body.
Yeah.
The problem is this is the Stratos body. I can see the body in there.
It's very impressively done, though.
It's another one that I struggle with a little bit, if I'm honest.
Yeah, I'm kind of not really sure where to place this. Like, just in general. It's really cool, but I don't know. I don't know. This is a tough one.
Go to a 7.5, 8. It's great. It's not the best.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna give it a 7. I'm just it just makes me feel unsure about just things in general.
Yeah, 7.5.
I like
when an actual flying car makes you feel unsure, you have a really big problem.
Yeah, I like the paint job. The paint job is cool. I think maybe it's just a little shiny. The red parts are cool though.
Yeah.
But the vent or something inside of the would-be wheel arch. I don't know. And the chrome paint doesn't really play well with the ray tracing, at least not right here. It makes it look a bit...
It looks like it's been sort of scraped and dented up a bit, which it probably has been
Yeah.
in a flying car.
Yeah,
Couple
bird
little,
strike.
couple little accidents here and there, rubbing against buildings and trees and stuff.
I would go with some sort of enclosed cabin on this one if I was designing it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
Yeah, I'm gonna go with a 7.
it's a fair score. Okay, next up is our next entry from Sure As Can Be.
Oh, I've seen this one. Yes!
Baron XRS prototype. This is a very brutal looking car.
It is. We're voting on the car, by the way, not the plane. The plane is cool too, though.
The idea is
Yeah,
cool,
the,
but I think
the Fox
it's
body wheels.
a little bit overcooked. It's too edgy.
Yeah,
Way too
I
edgy.
think I love the shape of it, but that is too many vents on the back.
it is. Too many of the same vent.
Yeah. I also don't like the door handle,
It's a happy little family events.
Yeah, it's...
though it is really impressive though. Most of this looks to be 3D fixtures.
I think it's almost entirely 3D. There's very little of the original body left over, which I'm assuming, based on the roofline, is the Stratos body as well. It's just been
Yeah.
The
stretched.
front end is 3D features.
Yeah, that like this is too low of an angle, but that is really cool.
Mm-hmm.
But like Von Doom said, it looks like it's built in a shed, and yeah, kind of.
Oh, I'm assuming with the Kiwi on the side, this is a car built in New Zealand, lore-wise, so it probably was built in a shed.
True.
It is built in a shed in a way that a vector is built in a shed. Oh
Yeah.
it's built in a shed. It's aggressive. It will kill you.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
this
it's
thing is
super
lethal.
mean.
You can just tell. How does that door open?
Zephyr raised a good point. Where's the engine?
True.
look-
I'm guessing
it
it's
looks-
hidden like in the back somewhere.
It looks front and mid end. It doesn't.
I'm thinking it's mid-engine, just because of the vents on the deck in here. And
More than likely, yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, no, I think with all the vents on the back, yeah, it's probably definitely like mid rear engine.
Yep. The question is, what kind of an engine, what kind of layout would it be? Because I'm thinking
That's
it's
a
probably
boxer.
transverse. With that,
That's either a box or transverse. There's gotta be something low.
Yeah.
I like it, but I don't love it.
yeah, it's
Yeah, it's a really cool idea, and I love cars like this. But even then, it's I don't know, all those vents and the slightly messy design. I don't know. It is shed built, so you know.
yeah,
Well, we don't actually know if it's shed built, but it seems that way.
it does. Yeah, that Nakaduct
That's a
side
really
is,
big Nakaduct as well.
Yeah, it's a bit aggressive.
Yeah.
It's typically a Nakaduct that wide should be a lot longer for it to work properly and function as it's intended to. Bit
This
odd.
reminds me of a Norwegian car things. It doesn't really like look like it, but it just has the same kind of vibe. The Stranden Scorpion. And it's actually the Scorpion as well.
Yeah, it does have that
This
kinda,
thing. It's got that kind of vibe.
that kind of shed built vibe to it.
Yeah. It may not look the same, but it feels the same.
So what do we think? I'm thinking 7 for this one.
Yeah, I also think a 7, to be honest.
Yeah, me too.
Like, I really like the idea and I like the concept. It's just, it feels not. Parts of it are massively overcooked and parts of it are really undercooked.
Kinda
True.
looks like,
Also,
Hofstadter to me.
Mr. Shaggy, that car actually predates the Espada by only like 1 year, but still. But yeah, otherwise I agree with the sentiment. Cool paint jobs though. Green and gold is very cool. This is a cool color too. Nice color options.
Yep, definitely. So this is from Tommy, the Loda Tempesta.
Yeah, that's a Loda Tempesta.
Okay, so this one is... I like this top view so much of this car. There's a lot of detail that went into this, and a lot of work.
There we go. Now mine updated. That is really cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, he built chassis like I do. It's the same method. I can't see from here.
I cannot bring myself to do that. I get why people do it, but I could never. No way.
Yeah, it's a lot of work. There's a lot of stuff going on here, especially along the sort of the deck lid here. All these scallop vents. I mean, that might actually be a little bit of overkill there, but
It looks like a bunch of cool details, but they are not organized in a flowy way. They are kind of thrown in the body.
yeah. Like from some angles, it looks really good. Some angles, it's less good. Like from the rear, it's great.
That is not a good angle.
This one here, the front quarter.
That's a good angle. The front quarter, yeah, no. The rear is a cool angle. The front is not quite so. There's a lot of really cool stuff going on, but it's a little, I don't know.
Yeah.
The mud flaps are a bit odd.
They are a bit.
It would benefit to be either without those side skirts and lower, or with those side skirts and a front bumper that matches.
Yeah. Yeah, the front end is kind of tall.
It is. Oops.
Most expensive rally car ever.
Yeah, could be.
True.
A V12 rally car.
Oh wow, the gear shift on the left. This is just like a Vector.
Yep. I wonder what those are, though. The two throttle levers on the left-hand side. Because you got your gear shift on the right, as one would expect.
Oh yeah.
You guys noticed that there were at least 4 or 5 cars with this steering wheel.
Yeah.
True. It's a good wheel, but that is true.
I get it. Looks cool, but everyone used it.
Mm-hmm.
That glass top has got to be so expensive.
Oh yeah, it's...
The name of the brand right in front of the steering wheel is not usable at all.
No, they will never let you forget.
Nope. This one,
It feels quite vectory, and I love vectors, so I feel inclined to give it some points for that. But at the same time, I don't know. It's a little messy. It tries to do a lot of stuff by the look of it. Like it's got the flaps on the back from something like the Pagani Huayra and the Mitsubishi HSR2, and then it also has the vector windows. And then it also has the McLaren F1's seating position, and then it also has a glass roof. There's just a lot of stuff.
Yep.
It feels like, I mean, making a car with something weird on it or something interesting is really cool, and you should. But putting them all in one place is
risky.
I don't know. Even the whole it's a concept car thing doesn't really work, because if you put every weird idea in one place, no.
Yeah,
There was a Plymouth that did this. In 1958, Plymouth made a car called the Tornado, and it looks awful. Because they were like, what if we do everything at once? And you can see in the chat here, there it is. Oh, that is, yeah, that is not... That is pretty rough.
If you haven't told me it's an actual Pontiac, I would guess it was shed built with fiberglass and no mask for the resin.
Yeah.
Yeah, no,
it does look like it's kind of melted
Plymouth
in the sun a little bit.
Yeah.
The rear end looks like a butt.
Yeah, a bit. No, it's it's weird.
So
that's kind of what I'm getting at, though. It's just you can't do everything at once because it's just too much, and that's kind of what's happening on this car.
I'll give it a 6.5, I think, just because there's a.
Actually,
no, I'm gonna give it a 6. I think.
Yeah, I'm gonna go for a 5.5.
Yeah, a lot of differing opinions on this one. Because, I mean, I think there's some details in this that I quite like, but I agree with Deuce Crane that there's almost too much going on, and it's kind of made it not focused.
Bang, Mitsuoka cars at least flow their rear lines. This thing does not.
Our last
Von Doom, this better be good.
And it is.
It is.
Very Alfa Romeo Carrabbo.
Very. With like a Lamborghini Marzal window.
Yep.
Look at that.
That's a nice view from the rear.
That's the rear of the Mazda RX-73.
Yep.
Oh yeah, the RX 500 looking thing, yeah. Very nice.
Whoa.
I love the extra casing for the exhausts, and the way they're like hung up as well. It's excellent. Also, why can you open? Does it have doors, or is that how you get in?
That's really impractical.
It doesn't have doors. That's stupid. Excellent.
Excellent.
Yeah, that would be a bit of a
I'll
climb to
rock
get
that.
in, wouldn't it?
It would. I like the interior color.
White interiors.
Make it self-driving and tell it to run over you. So you jump when it gets near to you and you're in.
True. Oh yeah. Also, apparently the reason why there's rubber on the front like dashboard is because you step on it when you get in. Excellent.
That seems
Just excellent.
less than ideal if it's been...
Yeah, less than ideal, but excellent.
Yes.
It's just as it should be. It's stupid.
Yeah, imagine if you have like wet shoes and you step on your dashboard and slip and fall into your car.
Oh,
that would be difficult.
Imagine if you step on the ground, on mud, and then you have to climb on the car.
Oh, no. Well, then again, I think if you own this car, you're not going to be parking it in any mud.
No. I hope not.
Golf.
Ah, there's a garage at the golf course.
I don't think there's room for golf bags in this thing anyway, so...
True.
You tell Cindy to hold them.
You can probably pay a guy to hold the golf, like, just do everything for you. You can probably just switch on a new pair of shoes right outside the car before you get in.
He can probably play for you, so you don't even have to go there.
Yeah. Tell your butler to go golfing for you.
I like the front end, though, at least. That's a nice design.
Oh, yeah.
Some of the details along the sides, like, I'm not keen about the fuel fillers. That's like my least favorite fuel filler cap in the whole game, and the way that they even protrude a little bit it bugs me.
It does. I like how they're on both sides, though. That's cool.
Yeah, as you'd expect.
Those air vents on the hood, by the color, they are aluminum. You're gonna step on them, eventually climbing onto the car, and you're gonna bend them.
And
yeah.
Eventually, they'll just be all concave shaped because you've stepped on them too many times and they're bent.
Also, imagine you have a passenger.
Passenger has to
how
by yours.
how the hell are they gonna get it?
Oh, I think it's just a single seater. So
he's a single seater.
Oh yeah.
Yep.
Oh yeah. There you go. No problem.
No passenger.
No problem at all. Oh, there are 3 seats apparently.
Really?
They're just way in the back.
Interesting.
It is actual hell, he says. Yeah, I believe it.
I
would
hope
be.
you never crash and burn this thing with passengers, because they are not going to get out in time.
Oh yeah. What if you flip over? Oh no.
Oh, that's why Lamborghini stopped using Lambo doors, because you can't
Yeah.
flip them when the car's flipping.
Yeah, it's like the Mercedes SLS as well with the gull wings. Like if it's upside down, it just blows the doors off with explosives.
Yep.
Yeah. I think on the Murcielago they have a breakable hinge, so the
Yeah.
hinge can be bent outward, but you have to wait for the fire guy to come and bend it for you.
Also, On Doom said in the chat, "Don't flip." Well, there you go. No
There's your
problem.
answer.
There you go. No, don't drive it. Simple.
Mm.
Keep it on a
Leave it in the
safe
garage and look at it.
Look at it.
Yep. Also,
the engine. Oh no, the engine's just to be pretty.
I don't really know what's the stuff going on behind the rear door, or
that's
where the door would
the
be.
air.
It's kind of.
I was about to say, what door?
Yeah, what door? Yeah, it's
What the?
a little awkward. I think with sort of the
Air
shapes and air vents. Well, I
air
don't know if that's even
ventilation.
Yeah.
Yeah, apparently it is an intake. I think maybe it would have done better if the mesh was visible, like right on the edge of it.
He shaped an intake at the shape of the door, and then there's no door.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's a bit strange, but I mean overall it's a great design. There's tons of incredible detail, especially I think this is the only car we've seen in the whole finalists that actually had like a semi-detailed engine bay.
Yep.
Yeah.
So that's nice to see that people are doing that a little bit more.
How would you go? I would go with like an 8.5, a 9 on this one.
I'm going 8.5 on this one, I think.
I'm gonna go with a 9. I'm being really nice right now.
Mm-hmm.
No 10s this time.
No 10s.
Interesting.
No chance.
Huh.
You gotta be.
You hear that?
aggressive with the 10.
You hear that, audience? Build better cars.
Build better.
Yeah.
Or-
Nah, I really liked a lot of these.
Yeah, there's a lot of really great designs here.
I haven't paid much attention to this comp because I don't really like the theme that much, but you guys surprised me. There's a lot of good stuff.
So, final rankings. And oh my goodness, it's close.
It is.
Holy smokes.
I don't think it's been that close ever.
It's never been this close. This is insane. We have in first place Priam at 9.06 points. Second place, Portal Cat, 9.04. Von Doom, 8.99. Chill Pollins, 8.95. And then Ivan and Oriology in fifth place at 8.75. Congratulations to our winner, Priam, and to all of the finalists in this competition. Just being a finalist in this challenge is an accomplishment that you can be proud of. We once again thank everyone for their participation, and we look forward to seeing you all in the next Automation Community event.